Kings Warriors, another
awesome game.
entertaining game. One of the best first round games I've seen in a while. Just really fascinating. Back and forth game. 24 lead changes, the second most in a playoff series opener over the last 25 seasons. De'Aaron Fox just took over in the second half, 29 in the second half. His 38 points tied for the second most in a playoff debut in NBA history. Luka had 42. Let's talk about Fox real quick, because I thought there was some interesting stuff. Watched the game, spent all morning yesterday before coaching Knox's team in a one-day tournament, watching a bunch of stuff from this game on Second Spectrum, rewatched all of his actions, so every possession that he sort of had. And I'll be honest with you, if I'm the Warriors and I'm building a game plan to stop De'Aaron Fox, I thought they executed their game plan. De'Aaron Fox made shots, and particularly in the second half. So you have to just give him a lot of credit for his shot making.
Kerr kind of said this after the game.
Yeah. I didn't see the post game comments.
He was basically just like, he's a 32% 3-point shooter and he hit shots.
Yeah.
And so sometimes you just got to give credit to the guy.
They went under, a number of, or not a number, because he did. It's not like he made 12, but he did make some threes when they went under, and then he made some threes in isolation. There's a couple interesting things that I thought, primarily Klay Thompson, Wiggins, and Gary Payton, when he was in the game, guarded him a lot. And I legit thought when they played drop with Draymond too a lot of the time, and of course with Looney, I thought they did a good job of keeping him away out of the paint, away from the basket. He made tough mid-range pull-ups. He made some fall-aways. He made some 18, 19-footers off the dribble. To me, that's you got to be willing to live with that. What Golden State has struggled with is the point of attack, getting blown by. Now you're putting pressure on the rim. And outside of some fouls late in the second half, they did a good job of keeping him away from the basket, and he made shots. So give him some credit. There's one play in particular that I really want to highlight, because to me it was like at a key moment where it felt like Golden State was playing well, and there was a half-court possession. Fox had the ball at the top of the key, 46 seconds to go. It's a 4-point game. Golden State's up. Fox has the ball at the top of the key, and Wiggins is off the ball, Poole is off the ball, and Payton's on Fox. And Poole is pointing to Wiggins, point switching, go. They're going to try to put me in the action. And Fox comes off the first screen with Davion Mitchell. Wiggins doesn't switch, and then he finally gets the switch on Poole, and he backs him down on the left side. And Alex Len does a great job when he sees Kevon Looney flooding to Fox and Poole of sort of sneaking around underneath the basket, which causes Klay Thompson, who's guarding Trey Lyles in the corner, he's got no choice, or he'll give up a dunk to Len. He's got to sink in, and then Fox just makes a beautiful on-time, on-target pass to Trey Lyles, who swishes a corner three. So the reason I like this play is because there wasn't a lot of that. There wasn't a lot of overhelp. And the one time they did it, Fox made a beautiful read. Trey Lyles, who had a great game, hit the three. And then later on, not too long after that, on a broken play where Kevon Looney's trying to sprint back on defense and Trey Lyles had fallen down, De'Aaron Fox hits him with a little shovel pass at the top of the key, and he drains the three. So that play, I think it was like a momentum play for Trey Lyles. It was a momentum play for the Kings. And it was Fox just manipulating the defense and making the right read.
Yeah. One thing which I think has to be a little concerning for the Warriors is Herter and Murray were 0 of 8 from 3. That's not going to happen again.
Yes.
So I think we should expect a regression to the mean with that. I was going to ask about Monk. 32 points. He only had 2 threes. Do you think they were good at stopping him from getting downhill? He had 14 free throws, because that feels like an adjustment that if he's going for 25 plus a night, this team is really going to be tough to beat.
And he got going in that second quarter by just attacking the basket. I think he had 3 buckets going to his right hand, using his body to shield off the defender and score on tough shots at the rim. And the one guy for me that I'm curious to see if we see more of, whether it's on Fox, whether it's on Monk, is Kuminga. That's kind of, some of his value right now is his length and his defensive ability. Maybe you lose something offensive. I don't know. I thought he played well the second half of the season. So Kuminga could be a guy. You mentioned Murray and Herter. Barnes also hit one three. The three of them were 1 of 11. Sabonis goes 5 for 17. Like, I'd be concerned. You're probably not going to get as good of a game night to night from Trey Lyles and as good of a game from Malik Monk. I'm just being honest. Like, we all know Malik Monk is capable of that. We all know Trey Lyles is that. But that's why there's a little, I think if you're a little concerned, because the three shooters are, I would put Barnes in there. He's typically a 36% plus guy in his career. They go 1 for 11. Sabonis has a bad night, and you still lose the game.
Still lose.
Speaking of Sabonis, let's give Kevon Looney some credit. Sabonis was 3 of 12 when Looney was the primary defender. Looney and Green combined were defended when they contested a shot. The Kings were 13 of 37 for the game, although they were 5 of 8 against those two guys in the fourth quarter. Twice in isolation, Fox had Green on him, and once he hit a three, and then the other time he hit a jumper from the top of the key. So again, it's like they made shots, dude. They made shots.
One Steph question I had, people were talking about this during the game, just with his minutes. So with him on the court, the Warriors at 117.6 offensive rating, 95.8 with him off. With him on the court, the Warriors at 108.5 defensive rating, 160.9 with him off. There were, Warriors fans, casual fans, whatever, saying that he should be playing more. Kerr after the game basically said no. I mean, we're keeping him at these minutes for a reason. Is this a conversation? I'm just like thinking about all of these different runs. Is this a conversation that we've had with him every year? Or did this feel in particular like this like they needed him on the court more to not have the, kind of ship sink without him?
It feels more like it's this year. I would have to, we know what the on-off numbers are this year, and they're not good. If you're the Warriors, you need him on the basketball floor. I don't know in their previous championship level teams if the on-off numbers were as stark as this year. But yeah, he was a plus 11 in the 37 minutes he played, and they're a minus 14 in the 11 minutes he was off. One thing to note about the Warriors under Steve Kerr, they've had 25 playoff series now under Steve Kerr. This is the 4th time that they have lost game 1, and they've won 2 of the 3 series in which they've lost game 1. The 2 times were that Thunder series in 2016 when they came back down 3-1, and then the Celtics series last year in the NBA Finals. So not panic mode, and we know Sacramento's a good home team, and it was a great moment for that franchise, lighting the beam, getting Fox and Vivek over there to light the beam. Vivek just had to throw himself into it, but it's Fox's night, man. Fox's night.
He's the owner. Let him do it.
No, he can do it.
Before we move on, the other guy I wanted to shout out with the Kings was the guy you mentioned before, which Alex Len. Grabbed 60% of offensive rebounds, their offensive rebounds when he was on the court. They gave him like their defensive player of the game thing afterwards. But like, that's the kind of guy that nobody was talking about having any impact before this series. And if he continues like that, that's an added plus for them.
Yeah, I called the Philadelphia-Brooklyn game on Saturday, and Philly absolutely crushed Brooklyn on the offensive glass. For most of that game, I knew it got out of hand at the end. Brooklyn was shooting around 40% from 3. They weren't generating a lot of looks, but they were shooting around 40% from 3. They were shooting around 65% from 2, and it was a double-digit game for most of the game because Philly was getting so many extra possessions on the offensive glass, and Brooklyn was turning the basketball over. And so I think the Alex Len sort of thing, the Russell Westbrook thing, Philly is another example. This holds true, especially in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Is the value of extra possessions, the value of taking care of the basketball. And if you have guys that can come in and create opportunities like PJ Tucker did for the Sixers on Saturday, and like Alex Len did last night, and like Russell Westbrook did last night, and Zubac, there's real value in the playoffs for guys that can create extra possessions.
We saw it with Miami, Atlanta, and then we saw it with the next game that we're going to talk about.
If you want to watch the rest of the episode, check out The Old Man of the Three Things, available exclusively on Amazon Music.